So yesterday we got a live stream of the new Genesis update, and they showed a lot more information than previously. And man, this thing is looking like Phantasy Star 3. It's looking really good. So I'm not going to be going into full detail on every single thing in this whole entire live stream. So if you want to check it out, I'll leave a link in the description to that. That way you can go see that. But I'm just going to show some of the things that I really liked and some of the stuff that I'm really looking forward to when this game actually launches. The first thing that they mentioned that I thought was really cool is that they're letting you equip multiple weapons so on the same palette. So basically, like, what you could do is make hybrid builds. You can actually make weapons work with other classes. That way you can be able to do different abilities from each of the weapons all with one weapon. It's pretty badass. Like, that's something that I wished I could do in the current Phantasy Star game. It's pretty nice that they're doing it now. So in addition to what they mentioned with the dashing, where you can get around faster around the world, you can also glide, and you can also swim now. I thought that was pretty awesome. I don't know if they're going to have any diving. It doesn't seem like it. But being able to swim is pretty good because it definitely opens up the world a little bit more, and it opens up the possibilities of, like, maybe swimming to islands for achievements and, you know, just kind of exploring a little bit more, because currently, I mean, there's invisible walls blocking everything in the current game. So it's pretty awesome that this is actually being fleshed out as a full open world game. They have a teleport to waypoint system, so I'm assuming this is similar to like what you would see in like Genshin or Zelda Breath of the Wild type shit, where you can actually go and you can teleport from point to point, or you can also teleport wherever the hell you are and go straight to that spot. And that's pretty awesome. That way, you know, we don't have to spend so much time running and gliding and doing all that stuff if we don't want to. They have instance dungeons similar to what we saw in Genshin Impact. It seems like you just kind of walk up to the domain type thing. You go in there and then you have like a new instance thing to explore. From what I've seen, this is also multiplayer. I mean, this is a massively multiplayer game. So I would assume that everything is multiplayer unless it's some kind of like, you know, main storyline quest type thing that has to be single player. But the only thing that kind of bothers me about these instances is just the design of it. It's very basic. It looks like just a VR setup, and I'm not really too happy with that. I kind of hope that maybe this is just a placeholder, and then later on maybe we'll see like awesome looking worlds inside these dungeons, like caves and whatever else. I think that would be awesome because, you know, the current game has like really awesome vistas, a lot of things to see. And I hope that they do that with the dungeons as well, because, yeah, if they leave it like this in the VR, then that's going to be pretty boring pretty fast. But the coolest thing about these dungeons is that you can actually explore them. You can go through them to the boss battle, you know what I mean? So you're working your way into it, similar to what you see in the current Phantasy Star game, where you're working through the dungeon until you get to the boss fight. So I hope we see a lot of that in these dungeons, and I really hope that they kind of flesh it out in the future, and hopefully it lands up being, like I said, you know, different looking areas, and it's not just like a VR setup type thing. The one thing I was really worried about with the open world was whether or not they were going to pull like the same thing that they currently have in the current Phantasy Star, which is, you know, events, things that pop up in the world, you know, things like that. They are definitely doing that. So you will definitely see events pop up. You'll get the PSE burst. You'll get, you know, all the typical stuff you would normally see. And then it seems like urgent quests are also integrated with this. From what they said, that the urgent quests are actually instanced, so you're probably gonna have to load up into it. But I'm still interested to see how this is gonna work in the world. I'm really hoping that it's like maybe an area that you go to, and then it just kind of loads you up into that instance of the urgent quest. That way it doesn't take out of just the overall size and scope of what this could be, because from what I've seen already, I don't know how big this world is gonna be, and I don't know if you're gonna be able to explore a whole lot. It's kind of reminding me almost like Warframe with the plains of Eidolon and things like that. And I really hope it doesn't end up being exactly like that, because if it is, then it's going to kind of hurt the exploration of it. So I'm really hoping that the open world is pretty fleshed out and has a lot to explore, things to collect. The thing that really made Genshin Impact so awesome was just like exploring randomly and finding a treasure chest and finding puzzles to do, and you know, like it was just really seamless. And I'm really hoping that Phantasy Star's new Genesis does this also. You know, just give us something to do while we're out there instead of just mindlessly killing enemies. So we'll see how the open world stuff goes. But so far, at least they're covering the basics. They have a regen mag, which is basically like, from what it seems, you just collect a bunch of materials, probably from enemies or maybe like mining and things like that. And then you serve it to them and then it gives you buffs. So that's pretty cool. At least something to keep you in that world. They also added like day and night cycles to it. So I'm assuming that we stay in this world and we're not going to really be loading out a whole lot. We're going to be staying like in here, just kind of exploring and stuff. So I'm really interested to see how this is going to work. Especially compared to the current Phantasy Star, where you do your instance, you're done with it, you move on, you load out, load back into another mission, you know. So with this open world now, I'm really interested to seeing how this works when you're just out there. If we could be out there for hours and just kind of just keep doing things, you know what I mean? Like, I really hope it's going to be like that. This open world also has a city hub, and they mentioned that it supports up to 100 players. I don't know if it's only the city that hosts the 100 players, or if this is just going to be all seamlessly together with the open world part of the exploring. I guess we're just going to have to wait until closed betas and open betas to see what that would be like. But as far as the city goes, it has all the same hubs that you would expect from the regular world, so it's pretty nice. That way we don't have to load up into the ship to go, you know, sell items and do a fixing and all that stuff. We can actually do it in the new Genesis world. So that's pretty cool. You can also, you know, pick up quests from that area. That way you can do more things in the new Genesis world. That's why this is feeling a lot more like this is Phantasy Star Online 3. This is an actual sequel because it seems like it's its own game. And it's not going to require us to really jump back to, you know, the original Phantasy Star 2. So it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. I'm really hoping that this is exactly what I envision it to be. But I don't want to get my expectations up after Cyberpunk. I'm telling you right now. And they showed the switching between Phantasy Star 2 and then the new Genesis. It's pretty seamless. You can do it in the loading screen when you're logging in for the first time. You can also do it at the teleport points that I mentioned earlier. And you can also go into the bridge part of the ship to go right into New Genesis and vice versa, you know? So it's pretty seamless. It's really easy, it seems. So it's nice that we're able to jump back between that. It would be really cool if they somehow managed to put Phantasy Star 1 back in this game. You know, like if they actually implemented that as well. I know that sounds like a little too much, maybe just asking for a little too much, but imagine how awesome that would be if they integrated like the old game along with the newer stuff. Man, that would be nostalgia heaven right there. And of course we got updated graphics, so I'm really looking forward to testing this out on my new PC. I already tested it out a lot on Cyberpunk, and I'm really impressed with how this PC has been performing, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what we got with this. We're expecting the graphics update to be coming out probably within the next couple months or so, maybe by February. So that would be really nice to be able to kind of see what they're doing a little bit. From what I've seen with the graphics that they've done with the, you know, the previous game, the Phantasy Star Online 2, it doesn't look like it's a whole lot better. It's like the textures are a little bit slightly sharper. But the main thing that's really getting the graphics overhaul is the characters themselves. So you're gonna see like better graphics with your character running around in still an outdated world. So I don't know, like it looks like it works. At least we're gonna be able to experience it pretty soon. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what New Genesis is gonna be like. Like I said, I really hope it's not too basic, like Warframe Plains of Eidolon type style. I hope it's not that basic. It doesn't seem that basic, so that's nice. We're gonna have stuff to do out in the world, but at the same time, I'm really hoping that they have extra things to do, similar to what we saw in Genshin Impact, where we have like, you know, the things to kind of collect and achievements to find and Easter eggs and, you know, all those things. I really like that stuff, and I really hope that New Genesis brings this also. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this. I'm super excited to see what this is going to be like. Beta is going to be coming pretty soon, so I'll be sure to let you guys know as soon as that pops up. Anyways, Hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a thumbs up if you liked it. Thumbs down if you didn't. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Later, y'all.